Hey, this is Ari Koinuma speaking, and today I'd like to tell you about a very popular delay pedal, which is this one, Strymon Timeline, which actually is so popular that there are plenty of videos and reviews and things written about it and stuff like that. So I actually don't have much to say about this one that's new, but I have not seen it actually compared with its predecessor, Damage Control Timeline. So I happen to have both of them. I've owned this pedal about 2 years now, and then I just got Strymon. So I would like to do a side by side comparison. But actually, as you soon discover, there's the sound that this can do pretty well too. I think it's gonna be more of a demonstration about how they don't sound all that different. Um, but so I wanna tell you first a little bit about the sort of the philosophical difference between the two pedals. As you can see, well, first of all, before I get to the philosophical part, physically, you can see that there's quite a difference in terms of the size here, and then of course the thickness is quite different, and then this one is just so much heavier and just really like built like a tank, whereas this one it's still solidly made, but in comparison to the behemoth that is the Damage Control, it seems a little bit more lightweight. The knobs are solid plastic here. This one just seems a lot more. This one seems a lot more. Just in general, a little less solid, I must say. Um, anyway, the main difference between these two pedals is that if you're looking for a delay pedal to do basically enhance your tone, you don't really use it much with like the tap tempo. You just kind of set it and then just sort of have it there to sort of like I said, enhance your sound. Then this is a really great choice. It's a superb sounding delay pedal, really versatile. Of course, it's this is subjective, but when I plug this pedal in, it just just right away it just sounds like the delay sound I hear in my head. That sort of a I know this is very cliche way of describing, but warm but clear digital sound. It does really well. Its range is obviously not quite as big as this one. Now this one, on the other hand, it has 12 different delay effects, and it has deep parameters with 8 knobs and some hidden parameters on top of that you can only access by pressing on this value button. And this one has, of course, if you want it to be an enhancement to your sound, it can do that, but it's more of an instrument on its own. Like this will be the instrument, and your guitar is the controller that triggers the effects. And what you do with this one is that, especially with some of the more powerful sounds, you kind of start writing music with that sound in mind, or it really inspires you to sort of write guitar parts. And in fact, this will make you play slowly so that you can have plenty of space between your notes, and so you can just hear the beautiful delay trails that this pedal can produce. If you just need it to be ambience, or like if you're not making ambience kind of music, if it's more of an ambience to enhance your sound, then this pedal is rather overwhelming. Whereas this one, it's still not an easy pedal to get used to. I mean, there are 4 sets of concentric knobs here, 8 knobs total, just to tweak the sound. Um, it's still a learning curve, but this one is more accessible than this one. So, with that being said, I'm gonna just play through a few sounds that are common between both two to demonstrate that they mostly sound the same. And then I might do one or two that one can do but the other can't, kind of thing, to give you an idea of the range of the pedals. So here we have the timeline generations of timeline. Okay, so first thing we'll check out is like a sort of a basic digital delay sound. So I have just a touch of modulation, but most of things like smear and grit and filter all the way off. Here is the damage control. I should mention that I'm playing a Strat type guitar through my Laney LC50II, which is a 6L6 amp. I have a bit of compression on there, so that's the basic sound. Anyway, so here we have the Strymon. Again, I set it to be pretty much the same kind of settings. No filtering, just a touch of modulation, that sort of thing. Oops. If I were to describe the difference, I would say Strymon is more hi-fi sounding, whereas Damage Control is a bit warmer and deeper. But the difference is pretty subtle. I don't know if it will really come through in the recording and watching on YouTube and stuff like that. So now, one of the foundational sort of a tone sculpting tool with this damage control is this filter control. It's supposed to be variable, so that if you have it all the way counterclockwise, it's the general sort of a more clear digital delay sound. And then when you put it on new, it's supposed to be more analog delay sound. Back to the digital delay sound. Oh, I'm sorry. Analog delay. So again, I don't know if the difference is coming through. It's pretty subtle. There's a bit of a rolling off the top end. Now when you now go further on the filtering and then put it there, it's supposed to simulate a tape kind of sound. Back to analog. Yeah, I realize I have to play the same kind of note with same kind of tone and attack to be able to really compare, but so I don't know if you can tell, really the difference is subtle. I really like the tape delay type sound here. It just sounds really natural to me. Now on the other hand, on Strymon we have 3 different sounds dedicated to each of those. So here's a digital delay. And here is the analog delay. Oops. Again, I would say the difference is more pronounced there than in the with the damage control. And here is the tape simulation. Yeah, so there you can really hear how the trails are being affected. I want to make sure that all the parameters are more or less off. So you can tell that the trail is just you know, the sound keeps changing and it just sounds a bit more organic. I wonder if there's a hidden parameter here that's taking effects here. Tape speed, fast, or normal. Okay, so the tonal degradation of the trails is less with the normal setting of the tape speed. Low end is on the plus side. Tap division boost. Okay, so yep. Now let's play with the filter a little bit. Okay, so you're starting to hear some fluttering come through the tape. So that's a fundamentally different kind of effect than the actual filter. Okay, so back to damage control. If I play with the snare, okay, well, I'll do the clean first. Okay, so at extreme setting, you can hear that the definition of the delay sound is getting lost. Now the grit is more of a distortion, so that really affects the degradation of the trails, but in a different way than Strymon does. The tape speed fast. And we really enjoy the nice sort of the organic sounding degradation on the trail. So okay, so that's kind of covers it for like the basic delay sounds, you know, garden variety that, you know, all the delay pedals of this kind covers. So next we're gonna look at some other specialty sounds that these pedals can make. Okay, so here is a reverse delay, which is common in both models. So here's damage control. I turn up the mix so that you don't hear the dry sound. So this is just wet, you know, echo. Strymon. Forget, ignore that. What it says smear. That's just one of the parameters. I was just tweaking with it. There's no smear on it. I just made it as clean as it can be. Okay, so here we have two sort of a slapback type echoes, and actually, so I set up the slap setting on the damage control, and then I'm using the debug at the analog setting on the Strymon, but on this one I could not get it to sound anything similar. So check it out. Okay, so here's Strymon. Okay, so I don't know how much of that comes through with the video, but the difference is that the damage control has a lot deeper, more sort of a pronounced sound, whereas timeline has much more sort of a subtler sound. Now, of course, you can debate whether this slapback sound could be best done as with the analog sound, or they could be the lo-fi sound done more subtly. That's debatable, but yeah, I would say that this damage control just has a lot more sort of a really strong effects, for better or worse. So that was kind of a revelation to me, although this is not a type of sound that I typically use. So anyway, so that's the slapback type thing. Okay, on the other hand, this is kind of a one preset using the swell setting that sort of demonstrates my point about the Strymon being more of an instrument to play with as opposed to just enhancement of your tone. This kind of thing you can't really do with the damage control. So oops, so here it is. So that kind of the thing, like I said, I think demonstrates what it's like to have effect box that is an instrument on its own, and you just kind of play it, and then your guitar becomes more of a controller for the effects than just like a traditional guitar. So anyway, there it is. Okay, so this is not a comparison, but this is the mod setting of the damage control. I just kind of set it to fairly moderate kind of modulation sound. I don't find this one particularly inspiring. Well, I mean, of course, I didn't tweak it too much, but just the fundamental sound is fairly I don't know. It's just anemic, digital sounding. Well, in a pinch it'll do, but yeah, I wouldn't use this pedal for that. So, it was a rather revealing kind of experience for me to play this with this side by side. I've owned this pedal for about 2 years now, so I know it better, and the thing with this pedal is that what you see is what you get. There's less range of sounds that you can have, and you can see all the settings clearly, so you can just kind of tweak it until you hear it, and if it if the sound you hear in your head is within the range of this pedal, then it's easier to dial it in. Whereas this one is a lot more overwhelming, and there are hidden parameters you can only get to by pressing some hidden menus, and there's just a lot more you can do with this, but the learning curve is steeper. After comparing it side by side, I'm wondering which one is better for me. Like I said, I had this pedal for a long time, and I got this one mainly because I really thought that I wanted a pedal where I could just set the sound as a preset, but have a separate, the tempo be separate. And that's still true, but it just seems, since I've lived with it for a while, it just seems a lot easier to dial in the sound that I want in my head using this pedal than that one. So I can see where this one is a love it or hate it kind of affair. It's really, really powerful instrument to add to your arsenal, and if you're looking for just a simple delay pedal to add as an enhancement to your original sound, I definitely don't recommend that you get Strymon. And that if you want a powerful and nice sounding delay that you don't mind having real estate for, then this one is still a viable option. So anyway, I know it's a long video, and I rambled quite a bit, but I appreciate you staying with me, and I hope this was informative. All right, thanks. Bye.